Boom.
Let's jump into some real volleyball
Yeah,
now.
CEV Cup. Now, but before we get to this matchup that happened today, which was a banger and was very fun to watch,
Banger.
this was a semifinal of CEV Cup. The second leg of a semifinal, because in the CEV Cup they play strictly home and aways. The other semifinal was Monza versus Zenit Kazan. Last Wednesday, a week ago today, Monza played Zenit Kazan in Italy. Kazan thumped them pretty handily in 4 sets. But then after all that went on this weekend, like we talked about, Zenit Kazan, who I actually congratulated on this very show 3 or 4 weeks ago, I gave them a round of applause for winning the CEV Cup. Now that
I should clip that out.
Now that take has been invalidated as well, because we thought that once Modena lost the tours, we thought there was no way anyone was going to be able to touch Zenit Kazan. I still think that would be true. However, what can touch Zenit Kazan is international governing bodies, war. Yeah. So goodbye, Zenit Kazan. The winner. So Monza advances straight up by incredible luck on their part, because they would not have won that series. But as it is, they are the finalist of CEV Cup, and the other finalist is Tours from France. I would have never, ever predicted this.
And hey, ever. Rob, they got here by defeating 2 of the most storied clubs in European volleyball.
Taking down Modena twice. Modena twice. Skra twice. They beat Skra on the road in Poland last week in 5. And the atmosphere today in that match in France was as good of a crowd. It was probably the best crowd I've seen since COVID.
Oh, absolutely. It was fire. Like it had me like fired up. Like
I was into it.
We were talking about it, and man, what it was a match to watch. On top of all of this, Tools did this without Kevin Tilley, which I think is the biggest thing of all this. Graziano, 25 points. He went 24 for 37, 65% kill percentage to lead Tools in this one. They were absolutely huge in the middle with Nasiamento and then Tero Menko, the Ukrainian international.
Ukrainian. He had the flag on in celebration. It was amazing.
Absolutely. We saw the Tools coach wearing the Ukrainian flag on his chest as well. And they were rolling. They were from the baseline. They had 6 aces in this one. And one of them at the end of the first set, they had an ace to close out the set. They were all over it in blocking. They were just had a dynamic offense. Like, Tools is a massively fun team to watch.
Fun.
Maybe it's a bit of a stretch, but you said no one would be able to touch them. I think that Tools would have just given it like the good old college try. They would have gone in, like had they qualified for, because you can't, like, their qualification into the final round here of the CEV Cup is 100% legitimate, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
If they end up winning this thing, the only like blemish that they have on their thing is the fact that Zenit Kazan wasn't in that final. But if they were, I would have loved to watch that match. I'm gonna love watching Tools versus Monza regardless, right? And especially if Monza can be the Monza that we know they can be, and is going Monza, off, right. Not the bad Monza that we've seen kind of in and out the season. But man, I think the way this Tools team plays and the way they play at home in front of that crowd, because we saw, or apparently there was a similar type of crowd I've seen from like clips and photos from when they played Modena at home and won in the first round. So man, this Tools team is a lot of fun to watch, and watching them, you can tell why they're at the top of the LNV. You can tell why they've been the best team in France this year, because they just work well together. Ian Perry is just leading them defensively, takes control of that backcourt, and they just run with it.
They were awesome today, and I think that they're now my pick to win this tournament. I think they're going to beat Monza. I don't think there's any way Monza comes into France in that atmosphere and is able to handle that. Like, that's crazy. I think Skra and Monza are similar in terms of how their rosters are constructed, and their play styles are kind of similar, actually. And Skra looked hopeless today against Tours. It was crazy. Like Grzegorz Womacz, who we've roasted a lot. We roast a lot of Polish setters. It's what we like to do on this show. But he's been part of the reason why Skra's had a decent amount of success this year in the Plus League is because they just feed middle all the time. Mateusz Biniak is an MVP candidate, and he only has 12 attempts in 4 sets. Like, you've got to give that guy the ball more. He goes 10 for 12, obviously. Like, he was outstanding. You've got to give the middle the ball more. Alexander Atanasievich, 7 for 10. Oh, no, that's the wrong line. 9 for 24. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That's
and
horrible.
6 errors on top of that. Like
Yikes.
Dick Coy just looked pedestrian out there.
Yeah.
He was actually all right, 15 for 27 with only 1 error and 1 blocked ball, but still, like, his passing was just garbage. 29% positive, 8% excellence.
Horrible.
Like, that is brutal. And there's no reason why he had the most targets. It's so weird to think that at the beginning of last season, everyone thought that Dick Coy was holding Trentino together, and here he is just imploding on Scraw, like not even like a little more than a calendar year later.
Amazing.
But
Yeah, you love to see it. So, very fun matchup there in the CEV Cup. Tours advances to play Monza in the finals. That's a home and home series, one match in each country. I'm not totally sure when that starts, but whenever it is, I'm excited to watch it.
honestly, it's a bit of a downgrade from last year's CEV Cup final.
Oh yeah,
For
well
CSV against Dinamo
anything
Kazan.
is a
Like,
downgrade from that. That series was unbelievable.
I mean, that one could have honestly been a Champions League final, and you told me, and I wouldn't have known otherwise, right? But I think this one's going to be a banger, especially the way Tools plays and at home. It's going to be a fun to watch.
Absolutely. So
Do we
Scraw,
actually get a commentator? Do we
no,
actually get a commentator for CEV Cup
I
finals?
don't believe
And
so.
if not CEV high, I'll step in and do it.
Oh yeah,
I'll do it for half of Rob's rate.
I think my commentary schedule, by the way, I think I have both Trentino Berlin matches and maybe one
Ooh,
of the Lube JW matches. So
All
you'll be
right.
hearing me on Champions League. I agree. CV Cup deserves a commentator. It's a shame that it doesn't have one. So